What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Sheen, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Katelynn Devinney of Pockets of Hope. Katelynn, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Now, I'm excited. We get to talk Pockets of Hope today and all that you do. But what is Pockets of Hope?
So Pockets of Hope is a nonprofit, and I provide hoodies, zip-up hoodies that have pockets sewn into the insides of them to women who are undergoing a mastectomy surgery.
Now, what gave you the idea to start this business, this company? How did it all get started for you?
So my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer for the second time in, I want to say November. So she had been diagnosed 5 years prior. She was actually at her 5-year checkup, and mastectomy was her only option. She did radiation prior and she was not able to do that again. So mastectomy was her only option. So in January, she underwent a mastectomy, and one of these hoodies had been donated from a local shop where it's like a t-shirt. She runs a t-shirt business, or like hoodies, like a screen printing business. And the owner of that, her name is Betsy, and her mother also is a breast cancer survivor. And she donated one of these hoodies to me because my mom was having a mastectomy. So after, it was kind of like not a big deal at first. Like my mom was like, oh, thank you. Like my mom didn't know what to expect from the surgery. So she was like, oh, great. Like not thinking anything of it, like not thinking too big about it. So then after the surgery and she used this hoodie, my mom was like, oh my God, like, thank God that I got this. Like I would have been so uncomfortable. And my mom was like, can you get me another one? And I was like, I asked Betsy, and Betsy was like, by the time she would be able to get me one, it would have been too late. My mom wouldn't have even needed it anymore. So I went to Target and I went to Hobby Lobby and I got a hoodie and I got some fabric and I made my own. And I actually ended up putting the pockets in like all of her pajamas and stuff so that she didn't have to wear a hoodie to sleep. And it kind of like my mom was telling someone about it, and then it kind of was like trickling down, like more people were asking for them. And I was in like a couple mastectomy Facebook groups, and I reached out if anybody needed one, I could send it to them. And little by little, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's pretty much how it started.
Wow. That's an amazing journey to get to where you are, and mom's doing great. Yes.
Great. Yep.
That's really what's most important too. But all of that creates this need. You fill a void. How do people find you if either A, they're going through this experience, this treatment right now, or they can anticipate, they've gotten some sort of diagnosis, or, just how do people find you to donate? How do people get a hold of you?
So I do have an Instagram, and actually last week, a big influencer, she has about 1 million followers on Instagram. She shared Pockets of Hope because I saw she was having a mastectomy. So I just sent one out to her, like just not thinking anything, just she needed, I just wanted her to be comfortable. She ended up sharing it, and my list went from 20 to I have 350 women on my list now to send them hoodies. So Instagram is like a really big one. That's mainly where I get all of my requests. I also have a Facebook group for it. And I'm always sharing the link for the donation on either one of those platforms. And then I also have a website that is coming. It's almost done. That will probably be the main source of the request, because I'll have a form on my website where you could just fill it out and it'll get sent directly to me.
So it's Pockets of Hope on Instagram. It's at Pockets of Hope on the at Pockets of Hope.
It's at
both.
_ Pockets of Hope.
At _ Pockets of Hope. And then we'll see that Facebook page coming. Talk about the other responses that you've gotten, some of the impacts that you've made with Pockets of Hope.
Oh my God, it's just been amazing. So within the first couple months, the main thing that I knew that like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing was there was a woman in Delaware, Georgia, and she requested a hoodie and I sent one to her. And then about like a month later, I had a request from another woman in Delaware, Georgia. And I reached out to the first woman and I was like, hi, I just wanted to let you know, like, I want each woman to have their own. So I do have a lot of people that request to pay it forward and to send their hoodie to someone, which is totally fine. Like, I'm all about that, but I always just want somebody to have their own. So it was kind of like, in addition to her getting her own hoodie, I had another woman that I looked it up and they were only like a mile away from each other. And I asked if she wanted an extra, and I ended up connecting them, these two women, and they met up and they spent the day with each other, and they were both going through the same exact thing at the same exact time. And they were a mile away from each other. And one had actually already been through the surgery, like just a couple weeks prior. So she was able to help this other woman who was going through it, who was getting ready to have her surgery. So that was pretty cool. That was like the first thing that I was like, okay, like this is like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is just, it was just so cool. It like them to like, and the messages I was getting from them after like connecting them, it was a really good feeling.
How do people donate to you and help grow Pockets of Hope with you?
So I am a very small nonprofit. So I have a bigger nonprofit that it's called FNC Philly and the Federation of Neighborhood Centers. And they are a large nonprofit and they run a lot of smaller nonprofits. So I use all of their tax exempt status. Like, I use all of their tax ID number, all of their resources, counting, like everything. So they actually set me up with what's called Flip Cause. And I have a link for all of my donations to get sent directly to them. Because when the donations started coming in, I just wanted people to know that their money wasn't just going to like my bank account. Like, I wanted people to know that this is like valid. And because they just started coming in, I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't even like handle it. So they handle everything for me. I have a link, Flip Calls link that everybody can donate to. It's tax exempt. You file on your taxes. So that is where all my donations go through.
Let people know how they can gain access to this Flip Cause so they can continue to donate.
So Flip Calls, I'm always sharing it on my Instagram. I'll have on my website, it'll have the link for Flip Calls, like a donate now link. You can donate any way you want through credit card, but even if you donate through Venmo, because I also have a Venmo, I go through and put you on Flip Cause and put all your information in. So that's another way too. I have donations coming from Venmo and everything as well. The links for Flip Cause are always on my Instagram and always on my Facebook. I'm always sharing them.
All right. Pockets of Hope on Instagram. It sounds to me like you are like this rocket that's fueled on the launching pad, and things are going to go very quickly for you when they hit that go button. How are you going to fulfill all these orders? Are you going to bring in elves from the North Pole? What are you going to do?
So actually my fundraiser is tonight. I have a fundraiser tonight to get some more money, some more funds so I can buy some more hoodies and fabric and everything. So many people, like, I'm just blown away by how many people want to help. So I have so many women like throughout the country that I've donated hoodies to, or that have even just found my Instagram that don't even need hoodies, that have sent me pockets that they've made. They've like made them for me. So that has been such a big help, because making the pockets it takes longer than even adding them to the hoodies. So I'm after I got all of these requests in, I was like, okay, like I need to get through the fundraiser. I need to focus on the fundraiser, make as many as I can this week. And then after I would like to have some sort of meetup somewhere. So if somebody wants to bring their sewing machine, or they just want to help package up the hoodies, that is my next plan. That is the next step. I actually had my friend over yesterday, my friend Kelly, and she was like, teach me how to sew. So we sat at my kitchen table for a couple hours and I just taught her how to sew. I'm going to get a new sewing machine so she can take the old one and she can help me fulfill orders. A lot of my friends really want to help. So I'm just going to try and teach them as many to sew as I can.
I'm listening to this story and it's giving me chills, because out of one little thing, a diagnosis for your mom and somebody sending something, this has created such a whirlwind of community. You talk about the ladies down in Georgia. You talk about people that you are now in contact with all over the country, and people locally that are coming together because of you, because of all the efforts and activity that you're creating. That is so, this little part of the world called Delco is making such a difference, and you're part of helping to change and improve people's lives. How does that feel for you?
It's honestly like, it brings tears to my eyes. Like, I'm like, who, like, I have like serious imposter syndrome. Like, what? Like, who am I? Am I really doing this? Like, I can't even believe that, like, this is what it is right now. Like, and I love it so much. Like, being able to help these women, like, to what to me is like a small way, but to the women that are getting these hoodies, it is such a big deal. And it's not even just, I say this all the time, like, it's not just about a hoodie with pockets. Like, it's about showing these women that, like, there are people out there who care about them and that want to help them. And I feel like that is even more to them than like a hoodie with pockets. Like, I can't even, like, just thinking about it, I can't even believe where I am now as to where I was when I started in February. Like, it's been amazing. Like, it's just been a part of my life that, like, I didn't even realize, like, I needed. Do you know what I mean?
I can imagine. Like I said, this is all coming together, and there are so many things that when you think about where your life is and where your life is going, the expectation of that was unfathomable, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm loving the community and the impact you're making. And I don't mean to.
Thank you so much.
I think that when somebody gifts this to somebody and they receive it, I think what they hear is, I'm not alone.
Right. And that's exactly how I want them to feel. That is exactly.
What motivates you? What gets you out of bed every day?
I guess my kids and my family and my mom. Like, I want my kids to see how easy it is to help someone. Like, I want to help instill that in them. The support from my husband has just been amazing. And I just being able to help these women is what gets me to do this every day. Like, sometimes I'm so tired and like, I'm like, I got to get this out. Like, in my head, I'm like, I'm tired. Like, these women are going through so much more. Like, all I can say is I'm tired. Like, I can get one more out. So that's pretty much what gets me up to do it every day. If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense, because you touched on something very important there, that, hey, you got a family. You had a life prior to all this getting started that was full. And now you've added this, and it's just become so much of, I can't imagine, every day you wonder, who are you going to make a difference in their life today? Right. Yeah. But we need our sleep. We need our recovery time. Yeah. And it's very, in this world of busyness, we get run down, and we need that fuel. And what I find so important right now is, look, we don't have 1 million followers yet, but what I can say is this broadcast in the podcast world out all over the country. It goes internationally. Yeah. Who is going to hear this, and we're going to change their life? You're going to change their life, because they're going to go to your Instagram page and they're going to say, I know someone, or this is something that I need right now because I've been diagnosed. And to find that and to fuel you, to feed you, to refresh you, to nurture you, to nourish you, that is so awesome. Thanks. So, we're going to talk a little bit about Delco, because we are still What's Happening Delco.
Yes.
So, you're out and about, and you're picking up fabrics and things, and you're thinking, I like a cheesesteak. Where are you going?
Okay, so I actually have a woman coming up from Florida, and she's coming to the fundraiser tonight, and she is somebody I sent a hoodie to, and that's how I even connected with her. And she came up, and that's what she was asking about, where to get a cheesesteak. And I'm a Pat's girl, all the way, but I heard Delisandro's is really good. That's what I said to her. But I'm a Pat's girl. If I'm going to go,
Delco needs to do so much of a better job of marketing their cheesesteak places, because so many 50% of the people we talk to are heading to Philadelphia. Yeah. And we need to change that. Now, but that's your preference. That's okay. Now, if this lady that's coming up from Florida says, you know what, we had a cheesesteak today. Do you mind if we get a pizza? Where are you taking her for that?
I'm going to Gaetano's. 100%. Their sausage beach is the best. But I just heard that they were closing in Clifton Heights.
Oh, no.
Yes.
All right. Well, there needs to be somebody that comes up to fill the void or figure that out for us, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, this woman, nice thing is there are convenience stores in Florida, but you're heading to the fundraiser and you want to stop off at a convenience store. Are you stopping off at Wawa or are you going to Royal Farms?
Oh, I'm going to Wawa. I actually live I'm staring at Wawa right now. So I would literally be at Wawa. I go to Wawa like 4 times a day anyway.
That's like they're your extended kitchen. They're just they're always there, aren't they?
That was a big selling point for when we moved. Walking distance to Wawa.
Talk about the Delco experience. Talk about what Delco means to you.
Oh my God, like community. That's like the biggest thing ever. Like I can't even put into words like how crazy it is that all of these people from Delco like want to help me. Like they don't even know me and they're like, they don't even care. They're like, we just want to help. And besides the fact that I'm pretty sure everybody knows each other anyway, like I feel like I don't even have to just like introduce a person, their name, and they're like, oh, I literally know your entire extended family. Like I love that. Like I love that everyone just like knows everybody and everyone just wants to help. It's just been this like this Delco community that is helping with this is like crazy to me. Like oh my God, I can't believe like people I haven't talked to in high school in 10 years and like they are like, no, how can I help? Like it's been so cool to say.
You have somebody coming in from out of town, maybe it's a friend or relative, and you want to give them that Delco experience. Where are you taking them or where are you sending them?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. I mean, Walsh Park, if you want to hang out at a park, like, if I'm going to eat dinner with them, I'm always like a big Johnny Paisano's takeout dinner person. I don't know. I mean, I would say like, I would go to like a Phillies game, but I feel like that's not Delco.
Well, no, rooting for the Phillies is Delco, right?
I would consider a Phillies game. Depends what's going on. Depends on the time of year because I mean, we could go to like a baseball game if there's a big one going on. I don't know. Like all depends. I mean, Lynn Villa. I don't think that's Delco, but that's like
it
a
is. It is.
That's Delco. Okay, then we're going to Lynn Villa if it's like a Saturday morning.
All right, Lynn Villa is Delco. Katelynn, is there anything we haven't discussed on the podcast? Anything else you want to share and have people know more about Pockets of Hope or you?
I guess just that, like, if you want to help, I'm here. I will take all of your help. If you know anyone that is having a mastectomy or you're having a mastectomy, send them my way. I'm happy to help with that as well.
You are such a treasure, and what you're doing and how you are affecting people's everyday, people's lives. And I think in the short time that we've spent time together, I can understand you have this energy that draws people in. You have this amazing personality that is just there that people say, I want to be a part of that. I'll drop anything. Whatever we can do. And, you know, when you were speaking to Dawn and I think you met at the one of the events in Ridley and she saw what you were doing. And it was an immediate connection. And that's something that's you. And I can really see why you're drawing not just Delco, but the whole country to help and be a part of what you're doing. So check out the Instagram.
At _Pockets of Hope.
At _Pockets of Hope.
Yes.
If you do the searchy thing, it'll come up. But
yeah.
if they want to, is there an email address or a phone number that they can get a hold of you as well? Yeah.
So the email address it's not the full pocket. So it's PKTS of OF Hope, HOPE @gmail.com.
So we got the email address. Now people know they can reach out and email you. Katelynn Devinney, thank you for this time today. Thank you being a friend of What's Happening Delco.
Thank you so much for having me.
Reach out to us and let us know how we can continue to help I know you mentioned several times on the podcast the event for tonight.
Yes.
However, if you're listening to the podcast, the event happened last week. So make sure that you keep an eye out for other events that you may be doing for fundraising, for bringing community together. Again, thank you so much for your time today, and go make some hoodies.
I am. That's what I'm doing. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much.